SEFAS, or SEFAS, depending on your personal preference, I guess, on how you want to pronounce the name, is a leading CCM provider based out of Paris in France. The company is owned by DOCAPOSTE, and DOCAPOSTE is, in its turn, is owned by La Poste. So La Poste is the incumbent post provider, a mail provider out in France. It's comparable to the USPS. And the company made a range of acquisitions over the last 2 decades, and DOCAPOSTE is sort of the area where it has put all its sort of software and services related to document production. So SEFAS is part of the digital identity and trust division of DOCAPOSTE, and it's not only CCM. So what is interesting here is over the last 2 years, SEFAS has been integrated within that sort of DOCAPOSTE division, and is starting to sort of benefit from all the other capabilities that DOCAPOSTE offers. So it's not only CCM, there's BPM solutions in there, there's digital signatures, there's Okero, which is their archiving solution, or digital archiving solution more specifically. And there's a whole range of sort of software and services that DOCAPOSTE offers. Now they also, and this is interesting, they are the largest, or one of the largest services providers in France as well. So the SEFAS is a BPO provider, print operating or print provider in France. So it's not only technology; they also have lots of other stuff there. So let's focus a little bit on the CCM market here. Now, SEFAS is an interesting company in that it actually can be, seen as different components. So there is a European component that is a little bit more focused on composition. So they're using the Harmonie suite to go to market, to sell their software and services to enterprises, a little bit more the mid-market. That would be typically their fit, although they also have some larger enterprises. They also sell into sort of print services providers, particularly in the UK. Many of them are actually using SEFAS components, particularly around some of those data transforms. That's a core strength from their history. They are strong in sort of, the France market, of course, to Spain, Italy. You see lots of sort of presence there more from a sort of composition perspective. The US market in particular, there SEFAS is a little bit more known for its processing capabilities. So they have, with Producer, really strong ADF processing capabilities. They've enhanced that product. There is software development taking place in the US as well to sort of, take that product to, or to adapt it to the local requirements, and some of the largest print processors in the country are actually using SEFAS as their processing engine. Now, SEFAS has sort of, has embarked on a strategy over the last couple of years to sort of move their software more into sort of, the customer experience and omni-channel world. It's a very exciting sort of development that they're on. And some of the key components are based in this particular slide here. So let me sort of show you that. So this is their vision of where they want to go. And let me start with the product in the middle. So that's their Okero, that's their digital archiving solution that is becoming their basis for tracking and tracing. And that's this sort of interaction repository. Around that, they're positioning this sort of communication hub that benefits from all those different sort of SEFAS capabilities. So it's the SEFAS Designer, which is more the CCM design environment. Producer is what I mentioned before, that processing engine. SEFAS Contralia is their electronic signatures that the DOCAPOSTE offers. There's the e-access, that's more their sort of, the hub, their sort of front end, or their portal, if you will. It's more like a facility, a framework to actually host digital communications. It's probably the best way of describing it. They have, gateway services. There is hub mail that's more sort of, an office mail, or some of those sort of hybrid mail type solutions. There's call center capabilities, or learning or listening to that can be sort of, put in there. And then also they're looking at some of the emerging technologies around AI to bring a little bit more of that sort of learning, self-learning capabilities in that portfolio. Now, the goal here is threefold. One, they want to build a platform that enables for faster onboarding. I think this is one of their, the weaknesses, probably a strong word, but it is stuff that can be improved. It takes, it's quite a bit of an effort to bring people onto sort of, the platform. That stuff can be made easier. They're looking into that. That is going to happen over the next 12 months. So that's an important part of their strategy. The other important part is to move the software to more containerized and cloud-based services. And that's another very important sort of element where they're looking at sort of containerized orchestration from a sort of, complete end-to-end perspective, meaning that they can actually then do orchestration from the beginning of the journey completely till the end of the journey. That is stuff that I want to sort of visualize using their tools. So there is a strong vision there emerging on how to sort of do that orchestration. It's being built, it's being visualized and created right now. So it's not there yet, but they're talking and creating that sort of plan, which looks to us very compelling. It's an area where I think, SEFAS as an organization can sort of, get behind from all those different areas of their organization and operate probably as a more integrated sort of global company going forward. The other thing that we find very interesting and, valuable is that SEFAS has formed a strategic partnership with MessagePoint. So where the processing here is moving more from sort of a print to a more omni-channel digital perspective. They're also adding, initially from a more sales, but later on, we can expect some deeper integration between the products, where they can actually sort of, bring more of that AI and content authoring and content intelligence to the market, which is another sort of area where if you look at sort of SEFAS with their capability is sort of probably not scoring 100% compared to where some of the other vendors are going. By connecting MessagePoint strategically to the products here, it's a very good synergetic fit. So with that, we're excited about their vision, where they're going. It's a company that is in rapid sort of, it's a shake up a little bit. They're getting more active in where they want to go with the product. Geographic expansion is another area that is on their roadmap and their list. They have a strong focus on Europe and the US, but you can expect SEFAS to also sort of start looking more aggressively into sort of the emerging economies in Asia Pacific as well. So with that, if you got any additional questions on those solutions, on how we see SEFAS evolving, feel free to get in touch. Thanks very much.